We're going to be doing a PCV reroute on a Duramax today. In front of you are all the things that you need. Some 5/8 hose, some 1 inch rubber tip, some hose clamps. I bought the wrong size, but that's not a big deal. Then you need a 5/8 T, 3-way T. And then lastly, you don't need this, but I wouldn't build it without it, the breather filter to go on the end of the tube. This black pipe right here is your PCV coming in from the passenger side valve cover and the driver's side valve cover. They meet right here and send the crankcase air into the intake tube right here, which of course leaks down into your turbo, so we're going to rectify that. I'm going to cut out this T piece right here. That's what that T adapter is for that we bought. And I'm going to cut this with a rotary tool, and then if we have to move on to something else, different tool, we can do that. That's about as far as I can get with my rotary tool, so I'm going to switch to my pocket knife. Alright, both sides are cut, so we're ready to remove this hose clamp down here. Alright. Take that 1 inch cap, put a hose clamp on it, or two if you're dumb like me and you buy the wrong size. A 1 inch cap fits perfect. It's that measure once, cut twice. Cut that board 3 times and it's still too short. Alright. This pipe right here, it's 5/8 back here, but it flares out a little bit out here, so I'm going to have to cut a little bit more off. I'm going to taper both of these tubes so that the hose will slide on there. And if you do this with a Dremel, keep the speed down so you don't just melt the plastic. I'm going to use some sandpaper to smooth the edges out. Now I'm going to use some Q-tips to clean out the dust that I created by cutting and grinding in there. First, take 2 or 2.5 inches of your 5/8 hose, slide it onto one side of the T. Go ahead and install it on one side. After you got the driver's side on, you want about a 4-inch piece for the passenger side. After you got both sides on, it's time to run your tube. You can run this wherever you want to. Some guys like to run it down on their frame rail, down under the cab somewhere. I'm going to run mine right up next to the air filter, so that way I can just pop the hood and see if the filter on the end of this thing is collecting oil or not. Here I've got the hose routed right alongside the regular intake tube. I initially had that little red filter right by the air filter, but after I started the motor I noticed that the vapors coming out of that red filter were getting sucked in to the big regular air filter, and I didn't want that, so I moved it. You can't see it now, but I moved it on the other side of that air filter housing, so it's no longer being sucked in by the air intake. And that was really the whole point of this job, was to get that away from the air intake.